Aloha. Welcome to a world of color, pleasant trade winds, and the aloha spirit. Welcome to the Hawaiian Islands. Kipona in Hawaiian means mixed, varying in color or texture, something of a different character. Kipona is Hawaii. As varied as the colors in a rainbow, Hawaii is like no other place on earth. Consider this adventure your piece of the Hawaiian rainbow. Welcome to the King's Playground. It's now yours. Where Kamehameha I frolicked with his followers, you can now share the surf and sand, walk the Pali trails, and enjoy the beaches, the palm trees, and waterfalls. In modern Oahu, paradise has taken on a new look. The capital city of Honolulu is the business and financial center of the state. And this island serves as the gateway to the state that is Hawaii. Behind the facades of luxury hotels and restaurants, the world is at play on Honolulu's Waikiki beach. There is no more identifiable vacation spot on earth. It's the most popular beach in the Hawaiian island chain. And when the sun goes down, Kalakaua Avenue swarms with activity. All the sun worshippers who just hours ago were beachcombers now are avid night owls. No shop escapes their eye, no night spot goes unexamined. Diamond Head overlooks the Waikiki scene. Violent steam explosions formed this scenic crater. It got its name from diamond-like calcite crystals discovered in the rocks. Diamond Head punctuates almost every photograph taken on Waikiki. And on the not-so-photographed eastern side of Diamond Head, we find the other face of Oahu. Getting close to the wildlife is a must at Hana Bay. A quick 10 miles from Waikiki puts you close to the underwater life of Oahu. The bay is made for snorkeling. Just up the coast road from Hana Bay, on Makapu'u Point, is Oahu's Sea Life Park. Here, the key elements of Hawaii's marine life are brought together for an entertaining and educational show. 2,000 species of marine life live in the park's reef tank display. The island's whaling past is reviewed at the Pacific Whaling Museum. Dolphins and whales delight the crowds in performances at Whalers Cove. This is Nu'uanu Pali. High above and behind present-day Honolulu, the 1,200-foot cliff range overlooks Nu'uanu Valley. It was here in 1795 that Kamehameha battled the Oahu warriors. The legend says that Kamehameha's troops forced 300 warriors over the precipice. Others say the warriors jumped rather than face capture by the invading troops. The Battle of Oahu is considered the beginning of the end of a 13-year conquest of the islands by Kamehameha. A more recent Battle of Oahu is recalled when you visit Pearl Harbor. A trip to the museum and monument brings back vivid memories of December 7th, 1941, and our abrupt entry into World War II. The monument over the sunken USS Arizona is a touching tribute to the men who died in the attack. Those who visit the Arizona leave the monument with a deeper understanding of the sacrifice that was made. Pu'uaina is the hill of sacrifice. Most visitors know it today as Punch Bowl, or the National Memorial Cemetery. Historically, it was the site of ancient Hawaiian sacrificial rituals. Kahuna, or priests, offered living sacrifices to their Polynesian gods. But more recent sacrifices, war veterans who died in battles all over the world, are now buried on the sloping hills of Punch Bowl. More than 30,000 U.S. military veterans and their dependents share the grounds of this peaceful memorial. Punch Bowl is the most frequently visited site on the island of Oahu. A visit to the northwestern side of the island gives you an opportunity to see its agricultural interior. Acres and acres of pineapple and cane fields stretch across Oahu's midsection. On the north shore of the island is an enjoyable spot that brings together all the elements of paradise. Waimea Falls Park is the site of a once thriving native Hawaiian population. Archaeological excavations on the grounds of the 1,800-acre tropical park indicate the lush valley was occupied for several hundred years. One of the highlights of your visit to the park is a breathtaking display of high dives from 60-foot cliffs above the falls area. The divers perform several times a day. Buses take visitors to the falls area from the lush valley floor through gardens, historic sites, and wildlife areas. The Waimea Arboretum holds botanical treasures rarely seen anywhere. Many of Hawaii's endangered plants are protected here. The park serves as a sanctuary for 46 species of birds. And for getting the true feel of the area's heritage, the program of traditional dances and chants gives us a dramatic glimpse into Oahu's past. Modern Oahu is a wonderful mix of old and new, sights and sounds, colors of every tint and hue. It's the perfect spot to begin island hopping or for just staying put and realizing your dream of paradise found. The ever-changing face of the island of Hawaii, the legacy of Pele, the goddess of fire, the fury of Kilauea, where sudden volcanic eruptions cause the earth to be reborn again and again. Kilauea and her sister Mauna Loa are the only volcanoes in the island chain to erupt during recent times. Each eruption brings new changes to the landscape. Horizons so stark they are lunar in appearance. NASA astronauts headed for the moon trained in these surroundings in Volcanoes National Park on the Big Island's southeastern edge. KAUAI Desert presents a bleak face to those who travel through the park. And the chain of craters drive to the coast illustrates the extent of volcanic change to the Big Island. But in destruction and change, there is also new growth. Beauty persists even in the path of lava flow. The black sand beach of Kaimu was formed when lava poured into the sea around 1750 AD. Lava Tree State Park is a lush jungle of flowers and foliage, the aftermath of a volcanic upheaval in the late 1700s. The lava trees, frozen in time in a cooling lava mold, are the only evidence of the fiery beginnings of this peaceful Hawaiian glade. To counter the charcoal gray beauty of the volcanoes, Hilo presents a more tropical flair to the landscape with a visit to Rainbow Falls. And the bay at Hilo offers some beauty of its own, with shaded walking tours of resort areas and restaurants, and Coconut Island, and nearby the tranquility of a Japanese garden. The term Big Island graphically comes to life when you visit the Kona Coast of Hawaii. A drive up Highway 190 out of Kailua presents a wide view of the open countryside. The Kohala mountain range looms up from the coast on the left. The road continues north on your way to Waimea and the Parker Ranch. Cattle play an important role in the history of the islands, and the 2 acres John Parker started with in 1809 has developed into the largest privately owned cattle ranch in the United States. $250,000 acres of rolling rangeland now make up the Parker spread. About 90 ranch hands are responsible for moving 45,000 head of cattle around the rangeland. The ranch is so large that climate within its boundaries changes from tropical to desert. Island cowboys, or paniolo, are as dedicated to their craft as any of their mainland counterparts. On the northernmost tip of the island is the little town of Kapa'au, the birthplace of King Kamehameha, and it's here that you'll find the original statue of the warrior that unified the islands. There are 2 statues of the king. This was the first. It was lost for a time when the ship carrying it from Italy to Hawaii sank. It was recovered several years later and placed here. The second statue stands in downtown Honolulu. One of the key attractions of the Kona Coast is fishing. Sport fishermen from all over the world find the waters off the western coast of the Big Island perfect for finding the big ones. The activity never stops here at Honokahau Harbor, just north of Kailua, or in Kailua Bay, where sport fishermen and tourist boats whip in and out of the harbor all day long. Most find satisfaction.
Aia ko maihana. Aia ko maihana la ea ke ki e mai la ea ea. Aia ko maihana. Aia ko maihana.
Pu'u Honau Honaunau is the City of Refuge. Sites such as this one were established by the ali'i or chiefs to send offenders who broke the kapu or laws. The old, young, or sick, and others who didn't fight in battles were also safe in the City of Refuge. The sanctuary served as a place of pardon and safety, and the grounds surrounding the refuge were considered sacred. Christianity came to the islands with the arrival of the first missionaries in 1820. They landed at Kailua and established the MAUI Kahua Congregational Church, which constructed this building in 1836. Across the street from the church is the Hulahei Palace. Built in 1838 out of coral, lava rock, and native wood, it became the residence of Princess Ruth, governess of Hawaii. Kailua bustles with tourist activity. Shops and restaurants line the colorful wharf. In contrast to the busy activity of Kailua, Holeualoa, in the hills above the Kona Coast, moves at a slower pace. The town is surrounded by tropical vegetation, bananas, coffee, and the ever-present beauty of tropical flowers. Hawaii, the Big Island, an adventure that represents the full spectrum of what the islands are all about. Kona, Hilo, the volcanoes, surfing, fishing, history. Twice as big as all the islands combined, Hawaii is big enough to have it all. The shadow of Haleakala dominates East Maui and the slim isthmus that links the east and west portions of the island. Haleakala means House of the Sun. In legend, Maui, the demigod, stood atop the mountain and caught the sun, slowing it. Maui harnessed the sun to allow more daylight, so man could have more time to harvest his fields. In fact, East Maui is Haleakala, a volcanic peak rising 10,023 feet from the Pacific. From the summit is a view into a crater 8,000 feet deep, 7 miles long, and 2 miles wide. And the site of the rare silver sword plant is intriguing. They are found nowhere else in the world except here on Maui's volcanic peak and on the barren lava slopes of the Big Island, Hawaii. They will flower only once during their lifespan of 4 to 20 years. They will produce a stalk of purple blossoms, then die. For all the stark beauty that Haleakala represents, Maui also has ample tropical beauty. Near Wailuku is Iao Valley State Park and the Iao Needle. Stabbing 1,200 feet into the cloud mists, it rises out of a lush tropical floor, once a burial ground for ancient Maui chiefs. And for the ultimate trip into a tropical paradise, travel the Hana Highway and visit the sacred pools. Before you enter the winding road to Hana on Route 36, the contemporary edge of Maui begins to fade as you pass through the village of Paia. Here there is a nice mix of shops and restaurants that gently ease the traveler into the native lifestyle they will later find in Hana. Just outside of Paia, fields of pineapple blanket the sloping countryside down to the ocean's edge. The island's hand-picked pineapple harvest adds some $20 million to the economy yearly, second only to sugar. As the road narrows and winds through the plush valleys and mountains, around every turn are vistas, wild gardens, waterfalls, and cool tropical glades. The sacred pools attract thousands of people each year, all wanting the chance to share the moment in the cool waters of paradise.
There you go.
I got you to do this.
Hana is a remote village at the eastern tip of the island. It seems to hold the secrets of a way of life born in old Hawaii. The old customs and traditions die hard in Hana. More than 4 million tourists came to the Hawaiian Islands in 1983. Of that number, more than 1 million chose Maui, and many of them enjoyed the pleasures of the Ka'anapali coast. Known as one of the best resort areas in the islands, luxury hotels, golf courses, beaches, malls, and restaurants meet the needs of all visitors to this West Maui paradise. To the north and south of Ka'anapali, more pleasures are found in the Kapalua Resort and Golf Complex. And Hilo Bay, with surrounding beaches and coves, provides quiet, secluded areas for laying back, snorkeling, or enjoying any of the pleasures of paradise. The past and present meet on the western edge of the island in the alluring town of Lahaina. Once the royal capital of the Hawaiian Islands and a busy whaling port, the National Park Service has made the town an historic landmark. Lahaina was a playground for early Hawaiian ali'i. In the early 1800s, whalers appeared, and before long, Lahaina was the whaling capital of the Pacific and was changed forever. The Carthaginian, a 93-foot cargo schooner tied up in Lahaina's port, offers a glimpse back to those boisterous whaling days. She serves as a floating museum now and was used in the movie Hawaii. Lahaina is a strong magnet for Maui's tourist trade and sports fishermen. The small port bustles with activity. Fishing boats come and go in search of their dream catch or to unload a trophy. Where whalers once roamed these narrow streets looking for pleasure, tourists now scurry from shop to shop looking for bargains. And when the search is complete, a restful stop in the shade of Lahaina's 100-year-old banyan tree. Maui, the Valley Isle, the home of old Hawaii and the House of the Sun, a strong attraction for those searching for their place in paradise and a piece of the rainbow. This is Spouting Horn, a natural attraction on the island of Kauai's southernmost coastline. Powerful sea breakers pound the coast, forcing water through a coastal lava tube. The effect on the eye and ear is impressive. Power, beauty, and history are the elements that make Kauai a strong attraction. Born of a massive volcano, the island is a rugged mix of tropical beauty and rugged mountains and cliffs. Kauai is the oldest and fourth largest island in the Hawaiian chain. The island claims the birthplace of Pele, the goddess of fire. Named the Garden Island, it bursts with color. Fed by rainfall of nearly 500 inches a year, tropical foliage paints the island in a vivid rainbow of flowers and plants. While flowers and plants provide the splash of color, two of the island's natural features provide a rugged, chiseled face to the island's western side. Waimea Canyon and the creased lava cliffs of the Kona Coast give us a glimpse of the violent beginnings of the island. The canyon twists for 14 miles across the island, ending at the ocean's edge. At the canyon's mouth, the Kona cliffs grabbed your attention, forming sharp, jagged columns, some rising 4,000 feet above the sea. The flaming origins of the island can be easily imagined when you're in the visual grasp of Kauai's Grand Canyon of the Pacific, Waimea, and the Kona Coast. The volcanic upheaval that brought about the beauty of Waimea Canyon also provides the beauty and seclusion of Polihale State Park. Here, south of the Kona Coast, the cliffs mingle with beach and surf to provide a secluded stretch of island. The breeze and breaking surf punctuate the privacy of the Polihale area. Along the island's southwestern edge, the dry side of Kauai, natural beauty begins to give way to the touch of man. Hanapepe Valley Lookout provides an excellent view of the farm plots and taro patches scattered through the entrance to the lush valley. Driving through the tunnel of trees on Route 520 gives you a taste of things to come on the island's greener and damper northeast section. It's a pleasant prelude to your arrival at Poipu Beach on the southernmost tip of the island. The water coming from Opeka'a Falls is flowing into the Waialua River, the only navigable waterway in Hawaii. The river is a boating delight. A trip on the Waialua takes you back to what it must have been like in the island's verdant past. The beauty is primal. One of the highlights is the view of No'uno'u, the sleeping giant. The legend claims he ate too much at a luau, took a nap, and never woke up. His profile is outlined in the rugged mountain range. At the end of the boat trip, you step deeper into the past and enter the Fern Grotto. Early Hawaiians reportedly worshipped in the grotto on nights of the full moon. Draped in greenery, damp from the rush of a 50-foot waterfall, the grotto is a popular attraction and has been the site for many weddings. Tourists enjoy the sights of the grotto while listening to the strains of Hawaiian wedding song. Lumahai Beach on North Kauai's Route 56. This was the site for a popular scene used in the movie South Pacific. This location and nearby Honolulu Beach are sought out by film producers because of the idyllic settings they provide. Kauai's sugarcane crops dominate the economy and landscape of the island. But taro is the oldest money-making crop they produce. Taro is what poi is made from. The Honolulu National Wildlife Refuge on the island's north coast provides a good look at working taro farms. The farms serve a dual purpose. The taro fields also act as breeding and feeding areas for many of the island's endangered water birds. In the early 1900s, shipping fleets on trans-Pacific duty navigated the Hawaiian archipelago using this lighthouse on Kilauea Point as a beacon. Ships bound for Honolulu from the Orient used the light as a leading mark through the island group. The point provides sweeping views of the rugged coastline and offers Pacific wildlife enthusiasts a chance to see some of the island's unique bird population. The peninsula offers sanctuary to 8 million seabirds in an area of less than 3 square miles. It's the largest refuge on any of the inhabited islands. Actually, the entire island is a sanctuary. Consider this gathering place for the species known as golfer. Princeville's 27-hole golf course is placed conveniently near beaches and shopping and entertainment centers. And for viewing the native Hawaiians in their natural habitat, Kapa'a is perfect for mingling among the island dwellers and sampling their shops, their food, and their lifestyle. Or Lihui, a focal point for touring the island or laying back and soaking up the mood and mystique that is Kauai. When the islands achieved statehood on March 12, 1959, most visitors knew only the famous stretch of beach at Waikiki. Today, the island paradise has grown to accept 4 million people a year and has opened the doors of neighboring islands. Each a special place with its own piece of the Hawaiian rainbow for you.